Hello and welcome to a new how to bleach your hair at home. It's been 4 years since I recorded my previous video how to bleach your hair at home. A lot have changed. Of course, the theory of coloring has not changed, but product has evolved. And that's why I need to record a new video. And of course, many of you know that this BlondMe is my favorite bleach. And I promised a few videos ago, many videos ago actually, that I would make a video of how to bleach your hair at home with the new BlondMe. Because we had a previous one, a very good one, a 9 level, and now we have a new one. And there's many things that I want to explain to you how to use that, because it's not just a bleach. You have these additives that you can add to the bleach. It's less yellow or orange. We have toning. I will explain everything, how to mix it, how to use it. We have more than one powder. We have 9 plus, 7 plus, and a 7 precision bleaching. I will explain everything. And I will go deep. If this is the first time you see my video and you didn't see the previous one, I will put the previous one in the description. But if you didn't see that, I will go over the theory of how to bleach your hair at home. And this video will also be available as podcast because I'm entering the world of podcasting. It will be a long video because there's a lot of theory needed to explain how to bleach your hair at home. Bleaching is not like mixing the powder and just applying it. No. First and most important that I have to say, if you want to bleach your hair, you cannot do it in 1 hour. Most of the times I hear people say, okay, I have to go to work this evening, or I have a meeting in a few hours. You cannot bleach your hair in 1 hour. Even clients come in the salon and ask, okay, do you have an appointment? I have 2 hours free and I want to go platinum blonde. That's not possible. It takes many hours because you have to do it in many steps. Otherwise, you will killing your hair. And I don't use 40 volume. I will never recommend 40 volume, even 30. In some cases, on the length, not on the scalp. It's even not possible to go from black to platinum in one session. Many times I see people that even color their hair dark brown and they want to go platinum in one session. They use 40 volume and they leave it on for 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, and they expect a nice blonde color. That is not possible. There's a big difference if you have natural hair or colored hair. So if you want to bleach your hair and you have natural pigments, so natural hair, never colored, not even 1 year ago, there are still leftovers on the length. If you have long hair, it takes about 3 years for the color to get rid of all your hair. If you haven't colored your hair in the past 3 years and you have hair around your shoulders, yes, it's natural hair. Natural pigments is melting. It's not changing. So it's melting down your natural pigments until there's no pigments left. If you have a little bit of pigments left, it's yellow. The last pigments that is on the core of your hair, that are the yellow melanins, the yellow pigments, most difficult ones to get rid of. If you are melting down the pigments, you are also taking the moisture and the proteins out of your hair. Platinum hair is an empty tube. If you think about that, how empty your hair is, you have to be very, very careful with your hair if it's bleached or the bleach is on your hair. If you have colored your hair, these cosmetic pigments need to get out. They cannot be melted. You have to get them out. So it's more difficult to get cosmetic pigments out of your hair or to melt down natural pigments. A big difference to approach the bleach process of your hair. Do I have natural hair or colored hair? Every natural color has an underlying pigment. That is really important. If you have very dark hair, you have a lot of red in your hair. If you are more to the blonde side, you have more yellow hair. And if you bleach your hair, you will not see dark brown, light blonde. You will only see the underlying pigments coming up. So you will see red. Red is the first color that you encounter. Red, copper red, copper, copper yellow, yellow, pale yellow, and then white. If you look at the color and you see a certain amount of pigment coming up, then you know what level you are. So I will put here a screen that says what underlying pigment is in the color. So if you have light brown, you will have the red copper. The more light you go, the more yellow you go. So bleaching your hair is not only going to platinum or to very blonde hair. You need to bleach your hair if you want to go from dark to brown, from dark brown to light brown. You need to lift your hair. You have high lift colors like in red or copper, but most of the times, and especially if it's colored, you need to take out these pigments. How do you know that you are on the level that you want? So you look at these underlying pigments. So if you want to have a light brown, you will stop at the orange. That's the maximum to bleach. You don't want to go to pale yellow. 2 reasons. First of all, you're damaging your hair unnecessarily. Second of all, your color that you put on that very light hair will not stay as long. It will be a hollow color. It don't have any depth. So, and it will wash off very quickly. Or you have to repigmentate your hair again. More products. Don't go too far. Especially if you say, I want to have a copper color or a red color. Stop at red or stop at orange. Only if you want to go to ash colors, if you want to have an ash dark blonde, you have to bleach it 2 tones lighter than the color that you actually want to have. Otherwise, it will not be ash. It will be too warm. Before you want to bleach your hair or color your hair, I know it's a bleach video, but this goes also for coloring your hair. Don't apply dry shampoo before you want to bleach your hair. If you want to say, okay, I will bleach my hair this evening, and in the morning you will spray some dry shampoo because you didn't wash your hair to protect your scalp, which I will explain later on. Don't do that. You have to wash it out. It will block, these products will block your bleach. It will not be effective enough. Also, if you are having gray hair and you put some spray on the regrowth to cover up, that will block your real color process. Especially, and the followers know that, but for the new viewers, don't put coconut oil on your scalp or your hair if you want to bleach your hair. I know there is some discussion about that, and some people say it's more distribute over my hair. Oil is really thick molecules. These oils are putting a layer around your hair, and the bleach cannot penetrate in your hair to melt down these pigments or to remove the cosmetic pigments. It will be more orange than if you put no oil on your hair. People are putting coconut oil on their hair to protect their hair, and then they are bleaching with 40 volume. So don't put coconut oil on your hair and bleach with 7 or 20 volume. More effective, no damage, and you have a very good bleach. There is just one reason why you can put coconut oil on your hair, and that is if you don't want to bleach your lengths and you want to protect them for overlapping. Before you mix your bleach, and before I will explain what the BlondMe new products are, you have to brush your hair very, very good. Comb, brush until there is no knocks or nothing in your hair anymore. So it has to be clean, and you have to make the first sections in your hair so everything is ready to bleach your hair. So I'm already very happy if people take 4 sections. So one from ear over the crown to the ear, and then from the front to the back. But if you want to have it really perfect, then you have a section from ear, crown, ear, and then the back. You see the back? You take a section normally from the front to the back, but this section is divided in 2 again. The more clean your sections are, the more you're going to work effectively correct. A haircut, a brush styling, coloring, bleaching, everything is created with sections. These sections are really important. These sections are the basics to work on your hair. And for bleaching, very important. I know the front is normally in 2 sections, but I recommend that you take 1 section in the middle like this, because you are bleaching this side and you are talking to your friends or to the camera, and you show that you are what you are doing, and this side is already like 10 minutes longer on your hair than this side. What will happen is this side will have a different color than this side. It's this important. So if you are having a section in the middle, so you're bleaching this side, then you're bleaching this side, and then you are bleaching this side. And if you are dividing your hair in the middle, it will all be the same color. If you have a side line, then I suggest that you take this section a little bit off on one side or the other, so your section on left and on the right has the same color. Okay, now you pushed on this video to see the new products, and I will show you the new products. First of all, we have the new packaging of BlondMe 9 Plus. We have 3 different bleaches. So the 9 Plus, the 7 Plus, and the 7, and I will explain every one of them. It's a light blue colored, and it's to avoid the yellow pigments. But sometimes I see bleach powders. The packaging is says blue powder to avoid orange colors. No, no, no. It helps a little bit, but it's not the only reason that it will not be orange or yellow, but it helps a little bit. There's also anti-metal bonding system. Compare that with Olaplex of L'Oreal. Sometimes people are using bleach and Olaplex to avoid breakage. Well, this is already inside this BlondMe, and this is working really good. So we don't have to use any Olaplex, Fiberplex, any plexes anymore. It's already in here to avoid breakage in your hair. But if you are using 40-vol, this bond complex is not going to do very much. You have to be careful, but it helps. So as the number says, 9 plus, it promises 9 levels. But that doesn't mean that you can go from dark brown to a 10, very light blonde. 10 is not platinum. Platinum is 11 or 12. That has no pigments inside. A 10 has a pale yellow, so it's further. But you cannot go from a 3, from a 1 until a 9 or a 10. That's not possible in one application. But it's a very good bleach that goes very far with a very low volume. And that is very important. We don't use 40-vol. We don't. I have one bottle of 40-vol in my preparing room. With this one bottle, I do maybe a year. We have the 7-vol of BlondMe. Then we have the 20-vol, and we have 30-vol and 40-vol. The mixing ratio of this powder is very flexible, from 1.5 until 2.5. If you are mixing it with 7-vol, you can lift until 3 levels. With 7-vol, you hear that correctly. And I would even say 4, but they don't promise that. They say 3. With 20-vol, you can lift up until 6 or 7 levels. This is incredible. If I recorded the previous video, I have never done that. I used most of the times 30-vol, never 40, never was a fan of 40. Now we are using 30-vol in a few cases. Now we are bleaching, especially the Regrowth, with maximum 20-vol. Schwarzkopf, who has created the BlondMe, is not recommending 30-vol on the scalp. You can bleach with 30-vol on the lengths only. Even 40-vol, that's crazy, and they create 50-vol in some stores. Maximum for the scalp, 20-vol. Because you have the heat of the scalp, it works very good. And it's less orange, and I will explain it later why. Then we have a clay lightener. Clay lightener 7 plus. The same as 9 plus, but 7 plus. This is more used for off scalp applications like freehand highlighting or ombre effects. So you are using it with 20-vol or 30-vol, only on the lengths. And then they have the precision lightener 7, not 7 plus, there's the 7. And that is for scalp application, so the regrowth or foiling, and it's not swelling up. So it's really to precise your work, just the regrowth, no overlapping, so it's not swelling very hard. And you know it already, if you do it on the scalp, 7 or maximum 20-vol. And then we have something amazing to add to this bleach. If you are having a hair with a lot of red pigments inside and you are still having orange or yellow tones, you can add an additives. These are to mix with your bleach to avoid the yellow or the orange tones. 3 colors. So we have violet, we have an ash, and we have a matte. The violet is for the lighter colors, a 7. This is medium blonde. Then you can use this color. If you are darker, like 5 or 6, this is light brown until medium brown, then you can use the ash. If you are darker, so mid brown until dark brown, black, then you use the matte. How do you mix this with the bleach? Well, it's very important that you mix it very good. You have to weigh your color. Otherwise, it will be too much. So if you are having a color 6, 7, so that's blonde in the blonde family, then you can mix 35 grams of powder. And if you want to have it intense, then you can mix 5 grams of this violet. And then 65 grams of oxidation. That's for on-scalp application. The on-scalp mixing is different than the off-scalp. If you are using it on the lengths, then you can use 10 grams instead of 5. So if you want to have it soft on the level 6, 7, then 35 grams of powder, 1 gram of this additives, and then 65 for the volume. If you are darker and you are in the brown family, light brown, mid brown, then you are mixing the ash. How do you mix it? So 35 grams of this powder. If you want to have it intense, 10 grams of the ash additive, and then 65 of the volume. Very important, on scalp. If you want it off scalp, it's again 5 grams of the additives that you can add extra. So if you want to have it soft, very careful, then it's the same ratio, but instead of 10 grams of the additive, it's 5 grams. And again, if it's off scalp for the length, you can add 5 grams. So for the intense, it's 10 or 15 on the length. For soft, it's 5 or 10 for the length. Then we have the dark colors and we use the matte. So again, 35 of the powder. If you want to have an intense additive, 10 of the matte, and then again 65 of the volume. And if you want it light, again 5 grams lighter. That's how you can add this to your color, and it's working really effective. Nearly every time if we bleached somebody's hair, we had to put a toner on top of that afterwards. But since we had these additives with the BlondMe, it's like in half of the cases, we don't have to put any toner anymore on that hair. It's already the right level and you can play with it. Be careful. Please don't say, I will put 15 grams directly in my bleaching powder. Do it once and say, I will put only 5 grams. And if you say it can be a little bit more, then you can add a little bit. Write something down, write it down, that what did you use, what mixture did you use, and then you can work from that. That's how you bleach your hair. Don't do it too much, it will be blue. It's very effective, so be careful. I don't want to do a reaction video on your hair that you say, Hair Buddha said I have to add these additives and look, it's blue. I warned you. I gave you the right grams for the mixture. And this is how they look, the additives. So we have the violet, ash, and matte. And you see, the more dark your hair is, the more green the additive is. So be careful. So this is for the blonde family. This is for the brown family. This is for the dark brown family. Most of the people need this ash additive. Of course, we have toners. It's not because we have additives in the BlondMe family that we don't need toners. We need toners. And these are the toners. Very beautiful toners. The steel blue, ice irisé, and ice for the ash colors. So people that want ash colors need one of these 3. These other ones are warmer. We have a clear, I will explain later. We have lilac, very beautiful. Strawberry is also very beautiful, very powerful. But a lot of people that want blonde hair wants an ash color, a platinum color. So then they need ice irisé, or steel blue. A bleaching works like this. So if you want to lift 8 levels, let's say from 3 until a 10, for example, not 8 levels, but okay, from 3 until 10. Your bleach will work very fast, very good in the first 30 minutes. So maybe it will go from a 3 until a 7 in 30 minutes, and then 2 levels to a 10. What I always suggest is that you use a low volume, 7 or maximum 20 volt, and you are putting it on your hair for 30 minutes. Rinse it off, dry it, and do it again. It will be better than leave it for 1 hour. You will kill more yellow pigments. You do slow bleaching with 20 volt or 7 volume. You will do slow bleaching. Your hair will not be damaged. With 2 sessions, we will go further. So less orange or yellow pigments. I have reacted on videos that are using 40 volt and they need to bleach their hair 3 times. They use 40 volt, it's dead. Their hair is like gummy. You can pull it until Pluto. It's dead. So use a low volume, rinse it off, and apply it again. You have to dry it. It has to be applied on dry hair. But still, you have some orange in your hair. Then you need the steel blue. So if you have less orange, more a yellow tone, then you have the ice irisé. This is really one of my favorites and of my staff favorites. And then if you have a very pale yellow, natural golden shine, then you can use the ice. But you can also be very careful. If you say, I don't want to be too gray, too ashy, because if you are using this one, it will get darker because it's really powerful gray. You can mix it with clear, so you can play with that color. If you say, I like this color, but it's too much for me, you can use it with clear. So sometimes they mixing ice irisé with clear. Again, write it down. What mixture did you use? How many milligrams of the one and the other? So that's very important. And what's also very important is that you mix it with 7 volt. Toning is 7 volt. I know there are a lot of tonings, and even the BlondMe can be mixed. They say you can be mixed with 20 volt. But this has only one purpose. You can lift a little bit more with toning. So if you are using it with 20 volt, you are coloring your hair. You're not toning your hair, you're coloring your hair. If you are using it with 20 volt on your scalp, it will hurt. Because you just bleached your scalp, it will hurt. I don't know why you would use it with 20 volt on your scalp. The mixing ratio with the toners and the developer is 1:1. So if you are using 20 milligrams, then you have 20 of the developer. Very easy to use, and you have to use it on towel dry hair. So you washed it and then towel dry it and then applying it. And the time ratio is between 5 and 20 minutes. Why 5 and 20 minutes? Is depending what you want. Do you want it more intense? Do you want to be careful? 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. You can check it regularly. It's also possible, and what we do most of the time, is that you are using a different kind on different areas. If you have the lengths that are more orange, then you can use this steel blue on the lengths and, for example, the ice on the scalp. If you are using the same one, steel blue, this is very orange, pale yellow, and you're using the steel blue, this will be like green and this will be neutralized. You can use different types of toning on different areas in your hair if it's not equally bleached. And how do you know that it's a toning? Well, it's the T in front of the packaging. T, if you see that, that's toning. Because we have also DT, deep toning. And that's for colors that are from 5 until 8. These are the deep tonings. Different colors, so chestnut, granite, nougat, milk chocolate, peach sorbet. But you already see these are all warm colors. And of course you would say if the letters is a T and a DT from toning and deep toning, that the additives will be an A. No, it's a B. If you are not that dark and a natural color, not colored, I have to say not colored. In the beginning I explained there's a difference between natural pigments and cosmetic pigments. Cosmetic pigments are the colored pigments, box dyes and stuff. You can do blonde lifting. That's just no powder. That's a cream bleach with a color. But you see they are all warm. And you have to mix it with 30 or 40 volume. That's why I'm not a big fan of these blonde lifts. In the description, there's a link where you can order this BlondMe colors and these additives and the tonings, everything. And they ship everywhere. There's the link, you don't have to search, and it's the new one. I will show you now how you bleach your hair correctly. The first thing that you have to do, putting some gloves on. With coloring, with bleaching, especially with bleaching, otherwise your hands will get really white, it hurts, and sometimes we forget if we are coloring or bleaching, these ingredients are going inside your skin. Start in the back. That's very important. You have to start in the back. And I often explain, take fine sections. So start in the back. Why starting in the back? Because if you are bleaching this section and then this section, then this section and this section. If you came on top of your head, set a timer. Very important. If you are setting a timer here, this will be already like you started here. If you are taking fine section and you are not used to do that, it will take some time. It will take, like, if you are very fast, 15 to 20 minutes to color. It means, again, 15 to 20 minutes to color the front. If you are coming to the front of your hair, it will be 40 minutes that you started here. If you are very quick, 30 minutes. That's 30 minutes that this is already processing more than this. So it's normal that you have a different result or more breakage in the back. You see that many times. They take it in the back and it's broken off because they use 40 volume. They leave it on for 1 hour, but the back is already 90 minutes on their hair. So set a timer. In the ideal world, I would say 3 or 4 timers, but I would be very happy if you use 2 timers. What do I mean with fine section? Let me show you what happens if you are using a big section. For some people, this is already a fine section, but this is a big section actually. I will use a good amount of bleach on the hair. First, you do the lengths, especially if it's colored. I remember I said colored pigments are different than natural pigments. If you are having natural pigments, you can do your full head. If you're happy with the length, in the same application, you can do the scalp, natural hair. If it's colored, you have to bleach the pigments, you have to bleach the lengths, rinse it off if you're happy. If you're not happy, bleaching the lengths again until you're happy with the color of the length, and then do the roots. Don't bleach your roots unnecessarily. Don't hurt your scalp unnecessarily. Look, here, no color. You can say, well, Hair Buddha, I'm bleaching also the underneath. Okay, let's bleach the underneath. A big. Yes. So we bleached the top and the bottom. Okay. We take this section in 2 and we look, a lot of bleach, nearly no bleach. So this will be more orange. This will be more blonde. You have a patchy result. You always take fine sections. This is a fine section. So you take that and you bleach your hair. You apply it really good. How do you apply it really good? You put your bleach on your hair. You don't scrape it. You put it on your hair and you leave it like that. It's like really delicate putting the color on your hair. You can go a little bit with your hands, so the middle is also receiving, but this is the right amount of product, not the scalp, and the sections are fine. That's why I say until you are at the front, it will be longer than 30 minutes. As a professional, we can do it faster, but this is the correct way. If you want to check it, you can check with 2 fingers. You're pressing on the hair and you're taking the hair away, putting it double in a curved way, like a wavy way, and then you see the color. If you're not happy, please apply the bleach again on your hair. And then always remember, if it's on your hair, it looks more blonde, less yellow or orange than when you rinse it out. It's how you apply it. If you're at the top, set a timer. If you're at the front, set a timer. This is the way how you apply it. So fine sections and just putting it on your hair and leave it. Don't be aggressive, especially on the scalp. So if you want to do your regrowth only, don't have to do the lengths, just do the regrowth. And a big tip is don't wait so long to do your regrowth. The longer you wait, the more difficult it will be to get to the same color as the lengths. If you wait like 10, 12, 40 weeks, you have a big regrowth and it will be very difficult. The first 1 centimeter will bleach very easy, but then you will have a band of yellow-orange. So don't wait so long. I know it's a lot of work, but believe me, if you want to have a very good bleach result, maximum 6 weeks, and do the regrowth. Very easy, 7 vol, quickly to blonde. If you are crazy about coconut oil, you can use coconut oil in this way. If you don't want to bleach your lengths, you can put coconut oil on these lengths to protect them. For example, if you have a little bit of overlapping, you go a little bit on your head. Otherwise, if you don't a little bit overlap, you can have a dark band. As a professional, you can do that very precisely. But at home, I understand the back is really difficult. Use more than one mirror. And if it's possible, ask somebody to help. The back is really difficult. So it's better that you ask somebody to do that. Show them this video and show them how they do it. It's more easy. Use the coconut oil on the lengths to protect it. If there's a little bit of bleach on the lengths, then it's protected. I'm not a big fan of coconut oil. I'm more of a fan of a deep treatment or a mask. For example, from BlondMe, they have masks and shampoos and everything. Use the mask on the length, so it's restoring your hair while you are bleaching your regrowth. You can put the mask or the deep treatment on the length and you're bleaching the regrowth. 2 steps in one. You are repairing your lengths and coloring your scalp. Sometimes I see in the video that people that are putting bleach on their head, they are combing their hair because they want to have it equally distributed. Don't do that. If your hair is in a bleach process, it's really in a fragile state. So don't aggressively touching your hair. No combing, no pulling, only the strand that you have to pull to see if it's still okay, but don't comb your hair if the bleach is on your hair. That's really important. I think I explained everything. It's a lot. I know it's a lot. This video will be a long video, but I guess I explained it really good about the BlondMe products, how to bleach it. If you have any questions, and I hope this video was clear, I will put the first video of the bleaching in the description. Maybe I said something in the first video that I didn't say in this video. This was mainly focused on the BlondMe, but I had to give this extra information, background, theory of bleaching. And the theory of bleaching will always be the same, but products are evolving. That's why I needed to make a new one. So I hope you are very happy with this video. I hope I was really clear. If something is not clear, put it in the reactions, put it in the comments. All I'm going to say today is ciao, kus.